City and home to Vanderbilt University. And if you're a Commodore football player, you get the star treatment as you make your way to the stadium. There's a festive atmosphere around campus with the hope that Vandy can pull the upset over SEC East rival Georgia. As is their custom, Bulldog fans are out in force in support of their beloved dogs. And with conference play about to kick off, the goal, as always, a march to Atlanta in pursuit of conference and national honors. The days of summer are fading away, and fall is in the air. It's another football weekend in the SEC. We welcome you to Vanderbilt Stadium and the Home Depot SEC on CBS. This afternoon, the Georgia Bulldogs against the Vanderbilt Commodores. Hi once again, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. Allie LaForce will be along shortly. This is the opening weekend of SEC play in the Southeastern Conference. This is one of 3 games. Georgia with real high aspirations this year. For Vanderbilt, a little more modest.
Well, 10 teams in the top 25 going into today. Everybody thought it'd be a shootout for the SEC, and you're right. Georgia's playing this knowing that if they could win this conference, they get in the playoffs. Vanderbilt would just like to get back to respectability, and they start today.
How does Georgia go about getting where they want to go?
Go to their game changers, and they've got a bunch of them, but it starts in the backfield. Nick Chubb is a guy who burst on the scene last year when it was supposed to be a Todd Gurley season. He did enough to be talked this year in Heisman terms. That's the kind of year he had, but he's not the only one. Sony Michel is back, finally healthy. We'll see him all over the field. He's a game breaker as well. But when the defense is out there, they've got him there too, Vern. Jordan Jenkins, Leonard Floyd, the best combo at outside linebacker I think there is. All over the field they make plays, but we know in this league it eventually gets back to the quarterback. You got a new one at Georgia, a transfer. Grayson Lambert from Virginia. Sooner or later, we know that at Georgia, the quarterback's going to have to make the play.
Vanderbilt had a coaching change a year ago, so Derek Mason is now in his 2nd season. They won only 3 a year ago. They lost at home last week, but you find something to like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you turn on the tape. I mean, it's night and day, Vern. I mean, I was surprised, almost shocked. They're tough. They got a lot of veterans on defense. It's back to basics. Derek Mason is speaking with one voice for this football team, and they're going to load the box. Now, can Georgia run it against them? That's number one. But he also needs some help. That means that Vanderbilt offense must run the ball as well. And they've got 2 guys that'll do it. One a quarterback and one a tailback. Ralph Webb and Johnny McCrary. Both of them will have to help Vanderbilt control this Georgia offense.
Vanderbilt and Georgia. SEC play is underway in Nashville. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Sonic, New York Life, Firestone Tires, and by Advocare.
For a battle between Georgia and Vanderbilt. It's another football Saturday in the SEC. Volunteers, Razorbacks, Tigers, Gators, Commodores, Gamecocks, and Wildcats. You can hear our battle cry. War Eagle, Roll Tide, Bulldogs, Aggies, Rebels, and the like. From Rocky Top to College Station, yeah, we're one big country nation, that's right. It's the Dogs and the Doors, the SEC on CBS, the best game from the best conference.
And we welcome Brad Paisley to the broadcast here in his hometown of Nashville. The Home Depot SEC, Georgia and Vanderbilt. And first on the field, the Commodores of Vanderbilt. They won this game against Georgia here 2 years ago. And right behind them, the Bulldogs of Georgia. And a moment ago, Allie LaForce with Vanderbilt head coach Derek Mason.
Coach, Georgia may come in as the heavy favorite, but just 2 years ago, Vanderbilt beat a ranked Georgia team on this field right here. How do you repeat history today?
Be about us. Do what we do. Okay, earn each play. Make yourself, confident about what you do quarter by quarter.
Georgia's known for their offense, their high-scoring offense with Nick Chubb and company.
Right.
How do you contain a player like that?
We just got to make sure we gang tackle. We got to get hats to the ball. We got to make sure that we can keep them off balance. And let's finish.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Derek Mason, longtime defensive coordinator under David Shaw at Stanford, and now in his second season as the head coach.
Vern, I think Derek Mason could not be more right in how he sums this up. Since he's been at Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt has never won the turnover margin in any game he's coached. They can't lose the turnover margin against Georgia and win this game. It's about us, meaning Vanderbilt.
Last meeting here, Vandy came with 15 points in the fourth quarter to knock off Georgia 31-27. It is a splendid September out of the Northwest at 10 to 15. Now, we did have some kind of torrential downpour as the front moved through here yesterday. And now it's messing with things on the East Coast. Georgia won the toss. They deferred. Here's Colin Barber, who had 6 into the end zone. That make it 7. He kicked off last week in that weather-abbreviated game against Louisiana Monroe. And so the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And at quarterback, the sophomore Johnny McCrary.
Does a little bit of everything. He's got improvement in his passing game, but that's going to be the last phase for him, Vern. He's late with a lot of throws. He's got a great arm. He just needs to learn to be a better quarterback. He can throw, he can run, but his decision-making is what's going to be tested here today.
And we received word that the game clock in the stadium is incorrect. I think they've now got proper lead. Here's McCurry, 6'4", 220. He's a sophomore out of Decatur, Georgia. Ralph Webb, 907 yards a year ago. Gets the handoff, tests the middle. Nice little move at the line of scrimmage, and he's out to the 31. And we'll bring you up to date on the remainder of the Commodore offense. Holden, Bernstein, Pulley, Gallagher, Fromang. The tight end is Shoy. We expect to see a lot of him today. Rivers in the backfield along with Ralph Webb, Sherfield, and Rayford. And game clock issues again.
It's a Patriot game or what?
That was quick.
Well,
yes.
I watched the game. What can I say?
And actually, Georgia's now listening to the Vanderbilt game broadcast in their headsets.
Too soon? Too soon.
No, not. The clock is. David Smith is our referee today. He's going to explain things to both sides.
This does make me laugh. And now I went to an engineering school at Purdue.
Yes.
And here's the school, highly regarded, and they can't get the clock to work. We had our problems at Purdue, too. Grab an engineer, I used to say, basically, right?
Please reset the game clock to 14 minutes, 45 seconds. 14:45.
All right. It says 14:18 right now. There
Thank
you
you.
go. Second down and 4.
Coaches always talk it's going to be a third down game. Who can win third down? But for Vanderbilt, running the ball on first down and having success just like that would be a huge plus for them.
High formation in the backfield behind McCrary. They'll come left. It's Ralph Webb, and he is stopped by Chris Mays. Let's go to Adam Zucker for an Advocare update. All right, Adam, thank you. It's no score here. Early moments of the opening quarter. On third down.
Wow, man.
Wow.
Blew up that play.
Jordan Jenkins,
Sure
number
was.
59.
That's who we featured. Jenkins from the edge. Watch him just inside move, just actually embarrass the offensive tackle. Was it? I don't know who it was from Ang, basically, I think it was number 66. And that was not a good omen. Remember, the injury to the Vanderbilt offensive line was at tackle, which forced them to move some guys around, and it didn't work on that play.
Here's Tommy Openshaw. And Isaiah McKenzie drifts back, grabs it over the shoulder, avoids one tackle, can't avoid the next three. Good downfield pursuit by Vanderbilt. Jakari Thomas, number 40, was the first man there. That's a 48-yard punt, and nothing on the return. Back to Vanderbilt Stadium after this. This is the smallest stadium in the SEC. Time now for the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Let's begin with the quarterback for Georgia.
Well, I haven't done one like this very often, Vern, where a guy sends spring practice at one school and starts for another school at this time, and that's what happened with Grayson Lambert. Got beat out at Virginia during spring practice, had one more class to take in summer school, and then he ends up starting for Georgia.
And the starting lineups, this is a veteran offensive line with the exception of Isaiah Wynn. John Theus now in graduate school. Capuano, Pike, Houston, Blazevich, a real find at tight end, and then Nick Chubb. What a wonderful, gifted runner he is. First down and 10. Vanderbilt blitzes on first down. They hand it off to Chubb, and he is stopped. Defensively for the Commodores, Butler, Woods. Wynn is getting the start. Azubuike is going to sit out a couple of series. Herring in the middle, fine inside linebacker. So also is Nigel Bowden. Weatherly, McGaster, Williamson, Burks, and Herndon. And you expect them, Gary, to play the safeties.
Oh, they're really tight. The safeties are going to be involved in the run game, and that's going to be part of the game. Can they read it quickly and still stop the play-action pass? You know Georgia's going to give it to them. Here it comes.
Slate fake. Across the middle, dropped. That was Nick Chubb.
Georgia's offense was very vanilla from a week ago, meaning they didn't show very much at all, didn't need to show much, but Grayson Lambert was very patient. He's been coached that way. I watched practice. Take your checkdowns. That's exactly what he was trying to do, a safe throw to the running back.
Third down, 9. Last year in SEC.
There's a game within the game that requires a different set of skills. There's no off-season. This is a play as much as you want, whenever you want, Fantasy League. And we don't just play, we are players. We train, and we win. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.
Play free with promo code REWARD in our Week 1 event. Get to DraftKings.com.
Play, Vanderbilt gave up 50%.
Timeout.
Third down plays.
Vanderbilt.
And some confusion. So Vanderbilt calls timeout, the first of their 3. Third down, 9. Vanderbilt Stadium in Nashville. My goodness. Well,
What is this? You moonlighting on us?
see the fellow with more hair than I have on the right? Brad Sham is going to be in synagogue tomorrow night, so I am going back to Dallas tomorrow and doing the radio broadcast of the Cowboys and the Giants.
Right here, study it up. Giants in blue.
Yes, thank you very much. Eli Manning.
Go from there. Yes.
3rd and 6. Tony Romo, 2nd down.
Got
10.
all you need.
I'm good. 3rd and 9. Incomplete for Blazevich. 4th down.
Third and long passing situation. And, you know, the last 2 times Vanderbilt has played Georgia, they have not sacked the quarterback. Can they get pressure in this game? It'll be a big story. And on that one, they did not, but good coverage behind him, and they get off the field.
Mark Richt, talking about his punter, Colin Barber, with us yesterday, said he has really improved. And here's Barber, little sidestep. Trey Ellis is the deep man, has it at the 29, and he is caught and dropped as he crosses the 35. Never miss a moment of college football with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every story, and every highlight, right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now. 1st down 10, second possession for Vanderbilt. Got a big 1st down pickup of 6 yards in the opening sequence, and then nothing the next 2 plays, and had to punt. Ralph Webb, and they'll go out of the gun.
False start. Number 56 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's Barrett Gallagher, who's had a couple of moments here in the early going. Defensively for Georgia, Atkins, Mays, Bailey, Bellamy. Jake Gaines is a starting linebacker. He came over to Georgia after UAB dropped the football program, and you've heard about Jenkins and Floyd. Malger, one of the best in the defensive secondary. Little change up for Georgia. Floyd playing for this year inside more than he did last year. Into the flat. Yes. Aaron Davis, number 35, fought for a moment. Oh, I thought he got one more step, and that's an easy pick 6. And that's one of those decisions that Johnny McCrary just isn't up to speed against high elite athletes in the SEC. I mean, Jeremy Pruitt is one of the best in college football at giving quarterbacks a lot of different looks. Vanderbilt must keep it very simple and involve their quarterback in the run game first before they try to drop back and throw against this Georgia team. And Gary Floyd is inside at linebacker again. His Webb gets around the edge and is driven down at the 37 by Malcolm Parrish, number 14. Well, one of the sidebar stories in this game is one of the offensive linemen for Vanderbilt had a little talking to do. Jake Bernstein said that our guy Webb is just as good as Chubb. Now, I'm sure that was posted everywhere. Now, Ralph Webb, pretty good black, but you got to earn those accolades. There it is. Personally, I'd rather have Ralph Webb than Nick Chubb. Well, he got some attention for that. Yeah, I think being loyal to a teammate. Yep. Across the middle, deep, incomplete, almost intercepted. Way too high. See, this offense will not work for Vanderbilt. The drop-back offense early in this football game will produce a turnover. They need to use the running game, the option game, and the play-action pass game, because I just don't think they're far enough along. Maybe 6-7 games into the season they can do that, but right now they just aren't to that level to throw the ball in the drop-back position. Tommy Openshaw on the punt for the 2nd time. Isaiah McKenzie. Oh, he dropped it. Kick it. Oh, my gosh. No. Run for the 1st down. What the heck? And then he's tackled out of bounds. He got a 1st down on a bobbled snap. Yeah. Well, you spend 100 hours putting together a game plan, and then on a simple snap to the punter, everything breaks down, and it's your biggest gain of the biggest gain of the game so far. Well, Jacob Schultz, number 48, was the guy with the bad snap, and one hopped, and Openshaw picked it up. Gain 13.
Wish we had a heart monitor on Openshaw on that one. That might have been fun.
Off the charts. First down 10. Left side. Well, Webb again. And Chris Mays, number 93, who is a large human being.
Yeah, not only that, he's recreating the line of scrimmage. Already twice in this game, Chris Mays, the biggest defensive lineman for Georgia, goes 323, 325. Depends whether when you weigh him, basically, but he has just been stuffing that offensive line in the center for Vanderbilt in this game so far. Recreating a new line of scrimmage. Spencer Pulley, their best offensive lineman's had a handful.
Two wides to the right side now. Boom. Boom is right. Jordan Jenkins was the first one there. Number 59.
This must be a busted assignment. Nobody touches Jenkins on this play. That's just a busted assignment. That is one of those mistakes where in the film room on Sunday or Monday, whatever they do it, they go, it can't be that hard. The guy is right in front of you. Don't make up plays.
Well, one of the problems, excuse me, Gary, last year they just couldn't score. Look at that, 110th. 179.
Couldn't do a lot of things.
You're right, and they played with 4 quarterbacks a year ago. Here's McCrary under pressure and heaves it away.
We're going to get another first down.
Yep.
Lorenzo Carter is going to get a late hit.
And he'll have a chat on the sideline with his head coach.
Well, and it may be more than that if he ducked his helmet into the quarterback there too. Out of the pocket. Lowers his head, and who knows? Now, I would not throw a player because he wrapped the quarterback up and was attempting to make a play, but I'm sure it'll be reviewed.
Personal foul, targeting number 7 on the defense. 15 yards, first down. Review.
2 years ago, there was a very famous play in this stadium with Rameek Wilson against Vanderbilt that could not be reviewed. In this case, 2 years ago, Lorenzo Carter would be out of the game. The new rule is the replay official has the opportunity to make it not overturn the foul, but keep the player in the game. I think he's going to keep Carter in the game. And I think it's a good rule. Because, even if you went back to the Rameek Wilson play, that was really what changed the play.
Let's go back to it.
It was a big play that helped Vanderbilt win the game. Here it is. Here's the play right here.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Number 7 is disqualified.
Wow. Now remember, that is a decision made by the official. He wraps him up. I'm sorry, I just don't agree with that one. That is a personal opinion of the replay. Steve Landis is making that call. He's our replay official.
And so Carter, who was in the doghouse with his coaching staff, based on his practice and play in the first game, is now out of the game. This is Johnny McCrary.
And that may affect Leonard Floyd's position. Let's watch if they move Leonard Floyd back to the outside or if they just substitute a new player in there. It looks like they brought Bellamy in, number 17.
Second down 9. It is Bellamy and Gaines and Floyd, the 3 guys listed as linebackers right now.
Vern, had he not wrapped the quarterback, I could have seen it. But in that one, I would not make that call. But everybody sees it different, and that's the way it is.
There's Floyd inside. Webb cut down. Aaron Davis. Let's take another look, Garrett.
No doubt it was helmet to helmet. Watch when McCrary comes out. Now a 6', 6" Carter takes on a 6'4" quarterback, and helmet does go to helmet. There's no arguing with that. But then the decision is made whether you should throw the guy out or not, or disqualify him, however you want to say it. these things seem to find me. Does this not happen?
I've kind of noticed. You are a DQ magnet.
Exactly.
Throw him out. 3rd and 9. Taken down. That's Floyd. Boy, he's Jeremy Pruitt said to us yesterday, he might be the best football player I have ever coached.
Well, that's quite a mouthful, isn't it?
Yes,
I mean,
it
he was
is.
at Alabama and Florida State. And he calls Leonard Floyd maybe the best player I've ever coached. Now, you know, there's no doubt. Is he outside here? Yeah, there's no doubt. Boy, I'll tell you, that right tackle spot is giving Vanderbilt fits. He's been beaten inside. He's had a busted assignment, and obviously he cannot handle Leonard Floyd or Jordan Jenkins.
Well, the missing lineman, Gary, is Andrew Jelks. He's out for the year. He was a starter at tackle, out for the year with a knee injury.
Yeah, he probably was considered their best offensive lineman. You know, when you're a tackle, now you move holding your right tackle to left tackle, and you promote. You know, if there's one thing that Vanderbilt doesn't have is a lot of depth, and now you're to your 3rd tackle already.
And so that'll bring on Tommy Openshaw, see what kind of adventure.
We'll say this, Vern, there's a lot of tackles in the SEC that can't handle Leonard Floyd.
True. Fair catch called by Reggie Davis back this time. That's a 32-yard punt. Let's take you back first to the targeting call. And Lorenzo Carter ejected for that play. Leonard Floyd, however, helped make amends with this sack. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Monday, Stephen's got Emily Blunt. And Tuesday, Jake Gyllenhaal, only CBS. Well, it's not a sellout. This, as we mentioned, is the smallest stadium in the SEC. It seats 40,000. You might notice, well, of course you've noticed, Georgia's wearing red, their home uniforms.
Yes.
And Vandy is in a shade of gray that makes telling the numbers totally impossible, except for those of you at home. We can't see the numbers up here. They asked for an exception to wear these gray uniforms. A shoe company was involved.
Did you get the vote, Vern?
I did not. I did not. And it was agreed by the SEC. Here's a big run. All right, there's one guy that's got a chance. And
I think he stepped out.
I did too. Knocked out of bounds at the 24. Trey Herndon saved the touchdown.
I think it was his left foot hit the line. Great blocking. It's the play Georgia's been running for as long as I've been watching. Isaiah Wynn, number 77, folds around and gets the power O block, and they run and go.
And quickly set up at the eye. The
Same
for
play.
Chubb. Yes, it is. This time they stop him after a gain of 3. 68-yard gain. And a nice job of going after the runner, never giving up on the play, and cost Georgia the touchdown.
He had a quick snap, but they kept Chubb in there, but now it looks like he's gassed and he's come out.
So Sony Michel, healthy now, is in. He gets the handoff. Jammed at the line. He gets a couple. It'll be 3rd down.
Now,
Let me just complete the uniform story.
Oh, go.
So, and Sony Michel.
There you go. There's a uniform.
Yeah. Anyway, the SEC said, yes, you can. I'm going to get this story done.
I'm waiting.
I'm working hard. 3rd down.
I'm not saying words.
The SEC said, fine, wear the gray. Then they saw the gray, and they said, that's too close to the Georgia road white. So Georgia's wearing red. It all makes sense.
Yep.
Incomplete. 4th down.
Interesting tactic by the new offensive coordinator as we watch this replay. They get the long run, and of course, your tailback, Nick Chubb, has to be tired running 75 yards, and they go hurry up with Chubb. Chubb's totally gassed, so actually they got a play that they don't get anything out of it. They bring in Sony Michel, and that's where that hurry up can actually hurt your own team. You got a tired running back, you hurry up and kick a field goal here.
Marshall Morgan's first attempt of the year. On his career, he's 46 of 59. Timeout.
Timeout. Georgia. They're first.
No score thus far. 6:21 to go, opening quarter. Nick Chubb tried to score, went 68 yards. It's time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success. Gary, it involves Nick Chubb.
It's my job to talk about why Nick Chubb is so good. You know, this is like putting your hand in the candy jar and pulling out candy. I mean, anything you say, he's good at. I mean, he's got great vision, and he uses it and is able to cut. When he sees it instinctively, he sees it, he automatically makes the cut. He's got great speed. He was a 10-600 meter guy in high school, and he's got great power. He's got balance. He was a state weightlifting champion. He power cleaned 395 pounds, and on this one, if it wasn't for one tackle around the ankles, this would have been a 7-point play. And Trey Herndon did a great job of making it a field goal try instead of a 7-point play.
37-yard attempt for Marshall Morgan. Fatong Bowder, the third-string quarterback. It is blocked. Or did he shank it?
I think he just shanked it, Vern.
Okay, I thought it looked so bad.
I've given him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I understand that. Well, ironically, I know it wasn't quite the red zone. Vanderbilt struggled in the red zone last week against Western Kentucky, and now they get a great stop here to keep this game tied. And, Vern, let's see if you were right. I don't think so.
No, I was not. Drat.
I have seen shots like that, but usually there's a mulligan afterwards.
Mark Richt.
Yeah. He's not used the timeout for that. You could almost see you thinking, what? That's
pure shank.
Yep. That was Brian Schottenheimer, the new offensive coordinator, who replaced Mike Bobo calling the plays. I mean, I question the hurry up a bit, but I don't question the style. That power O play has been featured in Brian's offense forever, and of course, Georgia's offense forever.
And Mike Bobo making a nice splash at Colorado State as the new head coach. Dallas Rivers is the running back now, number 28.
See if we can get McCrary involved in the run game. Oh, there he is, inside. Chris Mays again.
Well, we've got a moment to spend it with Adam Zucker back in New York. Okay, Adam, thank you. Coming up at the halftime, of course. Scores and highlights around the country. Second week of college football.
This is the staple in the Vanderbilt offense. They try to outflank you with these tight ends and slot receivers.
McCrary goes a little to the left side and gets it out to the 26-yard line.
Those bunch formations give a lot of trouble to the defense. They're worried about the picks. Teams like to combo that. So if you can go out there 6-8 yards, stop, you give the quarterback an easy throw and move the chains. Here we go, third down again. Is anybody going to be able to block number 59, Jordan Jenkins?
He's going to line up at the left end.
You can see him from the blimp.
McCrary back, has time, goes deep, it skips off the hands of the intended receiver, Trent Sherfield. And it will be fourth down.
Third down pass, you can see it, nice, well, a little hard. I mean, that would have been a little touch. Give it a little Montana or Phillip Rivers touch on one of those throws. Instead of gunning that ball, that's just too hard to catch. The receiver does not have enough time to react to that throw. A lot of times, you know, on TV, everybody says, that guy should catch it. That's a tough catch. You're running full speed, you got about 8 yards to see the ball.
Openshaw, nice. McKenzie at the 23. There is no flag. Some thought that was a block in the back. Instead, it's going to be an outstanding return. McKenzie, there are no flags, and Isaiah McKenzie takes it all the way. "77 yards.
I thought there could have been a block in the back called early in that return. Number 25, Jonathan Abram, I thought pushed the Vanderbilt player from behind. Player down, obviously, for Vanderbilt. Listen, if it's not called, it's a legal block. But I thought right there, let's see if there was a block behind there. See, I thought that was enough to allow McKenzie to beat that play. Now, he didn't block him hard, I'll admit it. From that angle, it didn't look as bad as from the booth. All things said, 7-0 Georgia. McKenzie, he gets in space. He's scary.
Well, we've got two number 11s on the roster for Vanderbilt. Rashad Canty and Harding Harper. And let's not guess.
It's Harper.
Harper.
Yep.
Yep. Isaiah McKenzie has put Georgia on the board with his third career punt return for a touchdown. Harding Harper walked off the field with assistance, but in obvious agony over on the training table behind the bench. Extra point coming. Marshall Morgan knifes it down the middle. And let's revisit this possible block in the back.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but let's go one more look at it right there. There's Abram, number 25. He clearly does not have his helmet in front of the Vanderbilt player, but just a little bit of a lunge. Obviously, the ref officials did not think it was enough, and once Isaiah McKenzie gets in space, there's just no stopping. He's an elite athlete who's finally healthy, struggled with a hamstring all fall, but looks like it's pretty good there, doesn't it?
As we mentioned, that's the third punt return for a touchdown in his career. 77 yards. And Georgia's on the board.
Yeah, he had two of them in one game. I think he had a kickoff return and a punt return against Kentucky in one football game last year.
4:33 to go in the opening quarter of play.
Well, that's a little bit of a stunner for Vanderbilt. You know, they get the big stop down there, can't move the ball, but they're struggling handling Georgia's defensive line right now. And all of a sudden they punt it and scoreboard changes.
Colin Barber. This one will be returned from the 5. It's Darius Six. And he is a dangerous return man, both punts and kickoffs. And let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Thanks, Vern. Harper is suffering from a right knee injury. He's questionable to return, but as I'm watching the trainers work on that right knee, he is in so much pain. He has not stopped crying from the second he came off that field. They keep asking him questions, but he just continues to shake his head in complete disbelief. It's not looking good for Harper.
All right, Allie, thank you. First down and 10. And McCrary and the Vanderbilt offense head back on the field. First down 10. Ralph Webb is back alongside McCrary. Here's the pass. Left side. Oh, just about intercepted. It was bobbled, and then Jake Gaines had both hands on it. Couldn't quite react quickly enough.
This is a shaky start for the Vanderbilt quarterback. There's no doubt about that. One change already. We know the struggles for quarterback Vern. We also know the struggles at right tackle. We spotted that early. There has been a change. Justin Skull, number 58, a true freshman, I believe that's him, is in the game. 58, yes, the numbers are tough, I've got to admit. I'm not going to do any complaining here. I'm just saying it's Justin Skull, a true freshman in the game, because they were getting beat badly at tackle.
Second down, I formation. Nice avoidance of the tackle by Ralph Webb. Leonard Floyd with the pressure again. And it'll be third down.
You know, Webb's quite a workhorse last year for this Vanderbilt team. He actually carried the ball 17 times for 77 yards a year ago against Georgia. It wasn't as close a game, though, but he's a guy that carried the ball the third most times of any back in the SEC, so he's going to carry it all game. They need Webb, and they need McCrary to run the ball.
And so far, he has not. He has passed 5 times and completed 1. Now McCrary goes right, pulls up, fires his first down. Yes, at the 50. Latavius Rayford, number 86, gains 13 on third down.
Not so sure about that. This may be coming back.
Personal foul, hands to the face, number 84 on the defense. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Didn't see it. Leonard Floyd is confused. I thought it was holding. I saw the flag come to the outside, and Georgia gets called to a hand to the face of Will Holden, number 74. Left side right there. He rips underneath it. What? I think they got that one wrong. That's a big break for Vanderbilt.
My gracious.
That's a bad call. You know, they got the umpire, the extra official now behind. I'm not sure what they call him. Is it the center judge? But he's behind calling the left tackle, and he missed that one.
First down, test the middle. Well, let's take one more look at that.
Yeah, Leonard Floyd is doing a technique he's taught by Tracy Rocker, the arm rip inside. Watch the rip of his left arm through. He doesn't touch the helmet at all. Gets held, and I don't get it.
And they called hand to the face.
I think
on Floyd.
The judge, center judge, just got confused as to whose hand it was.
Second down, 6. Right side. Webb again. Dominic Sanders, number 24, first man there. Still befuddled over that ball.
Yeah.
So's Mark Britt. Third down, 2.
And now you wonder if Vanderbilt, feeling this game out, would they just go 4 downs here and run it 2 more times?
They come left. Webb struggles. It's going to be very close.
I think it's short, but it's going to be very close. Little motion, but nothing really happened. Kevin Bellamy, number 17, crashes inside and makes the play.
Dallas Rivers is in the backfield now.
Here's a little bit of a dilemma. Your quarterback, 6'4", a big guy, but the nose tackle's big too.
They give it to the short back, the up back.
Yeah, he got it.
Dallas Rivers, first down, Vanderbilt.
Well, Vanderbilt is thinking they might not have got a call on the punt return, whether they were right or wrong, who knows, but they did get a good call on Leonard Floyd's helmet to the face mask. Now they've got to that area of the field that gave them problems a week ago.
Yep. Derek Mason, 48 years of age, graduate of Northern Arizona University, and outstanding defensive coordinator at Stanford before he got the head coaching job here. Jet sweep. That's Darius Sims, number 6. But Jake Gaines stayed home and stopped it.
Derek Mason has handed the offense to Andy Ludwig, new offensive coordinator from Wisconsin, and Andy Ludwig just produced Big Ten yardage at a record pace. So on 4th down there, I agree. You go for it. I mean, you're in a situation where you're the underdog. It was a no-brainer.
And here's McCrary out of the spread on 2nd down. Corner blitz threatened. They hand it off. Not much. That's Dallas Rivers again. He's driven back. And there's Mr. Floyd. Sterling Bailey, number 58. A really steady defensive lineman for the Bulldogs of Georgia. 3rd down.
Yeah, 2 big plays in the first quarter by Georgia. The big run by Chubbs and the punt return, obviously, for the touchdown.
Well, we'll switch ends of the field here at Vanderbilt Stadium. 7-0 right now. We'll return to Nashville after this message and a word from your local station. Welcome back to Music City, Vanderbilt Stadium. And it's a 3rd down, 8 Vanderbilt at the 22. McCrary. Pressure from the middle. It's Jordan Jenkins who got there first. And that will bring up a 4th down. We'll see what Vanderbilt. Well, that's an unsuccessful attempt to a fairly decent drive. They got a big break on the fence.
Vanderbilt has to actually avoid that 3rd and long. I mean, if it's not Jenkins that time again, Jenkins from one side, the vice, Floyd from the other side. They got to get it into 3rd and 3 or 4 where Georgia does not know it's going to be a drop back pass. That's their only chance.
Here's the field goal attempt from 47 yards out. Tommy Openshaw. His career long is 49. This is a line drive kick, and it is good. Vanderbilt on the board, opening play, second play actually, the second quarter. You bet. 7-3 Georgia.
Well, a successful answer, but there is one stat that is tilting for Vanderbilt that could pay off. Remember, Derek Mason all week has talked about getting it into the 4th quarter, Vern. 25 plays in this game so far by Vanderbilt, just 7 for Georgia.
Now let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Thanks, Vern and Gary. I got word from Vanderbilt that Harding Harper is out for the game with that knee injury. Just listening in on the sideline as the defense was anxiously awaiting to get back in this game, they were strategizing how to tackle Nick Chubb. The coaching staff telling them just wrap him up from start to finish. He was telling the safeties and the cornerbacks specifically, clean up the focus. We know what to do. We know how to get it done out there. We just have to stay mentally focused, ignore the hype of this Georgia game, and we'll be fine.
All right, Allie, thank you. 7-3. And Vanderbilt will kick off. Hayden LeCoq, number 93, will kick the ball deep. Isaiah McKenzie and Keith Marshall are deep. Marshall injured most of the last 2 years, but had a solid return last week. This is Keith Marshall. Well, Grayson Lambert's still looking for his first completion in the game.
And this is a bit of an oddity under Mark Richt. He usually knows who his quarterback is going to be. And you were here right in the David Green era, then DJ Shockley. Matthew Stafford, everybody knew it was going to eventually be Matthew Stafford, but he wasn't in the opener. So this is a little different this year. Going into fall camp for Georgia, not exactly sure who's going to be the trigger guy.
And again, if you don't know the story, Mark Richt's quarterback choice, Grayson Lambert, graduated from Virginia this summer with a degree in anthropology, had lost his starting job in the spring, and he decided to transfer and got the start. Bryce Riley is the backup. Here's Chubb. Tough to bring down, isn't it? Out to the 30.
Not only do you get the push from the offensive line, you get the push behind the push.
There's
timed out great.
Yeah.
They called it offside.
Yeah.
The Vanderbilt linemen were going, hurry up, we're going to time this baby and dive right over the top.
And the diver was Stephen Weatherly, number 45, but
almost, though, like Troy Polamalu, wasn't it?
yes.
Offside on the defense. Penalty is 5 yards. Results in a first down.
See Weatherly, number 45. Well, actually, he wasn't the first.
Yes. No. It was Darren Henry, number 30. Herring. Excuse me. You know, what a new center, Brian Cablano, right there, number 54, filling big shoes at center for Georgia. I want to talk about him a little bit as you watch him snap the ball.
His shot going right. Well, he replaces David Andrews, who was a wonderfully gifted offensive center.
Started for the Patriots Thursday night.
Yep.
Cablano, the big thing here is he's left-handed, Vern. It's not a big deal in the shotgun, but under center, I could see that being a big deal.
Third down coming up.
The story was he was there all summer. Thousands of snaps. He was projected to be the guard, moved over to center, and had to work out the snapping, obviously, as part of the job.
Here's Lambert. Way too high. Fourth down.
He could feel Lambert, the pressure that time coming from the outside, and he had to anticipate the throw, and he took a hit on the throw. Coming from the outside, completely unblocked around the corner, and took it right on the knees.
Arnold Tarpley, number 2, with the tackle. And that brings up fourth down, and it brings on Colin Barber.
The Vanderbilt defense has done a nice job, haven't they? One play, basically.
This one bounces. Whoa, watch out. Watch out.
Yeah, but it was a nice stop. I thought it was worth it, because that ball would have ran all the way down near the goal line. So that was a gutsy play, and it saved his offense at least 12 yards on that play.
Trey Ellis was the man who was back. 3, Georgia has the lead, 12:37 to go in the first half. Let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Vern, I have something to look out for. Sony Michel, his hip was bothering him in the first quarter, so the team took precaution. They took him back in the locker room briefly. He was absent from this game. The team then told us officially that he has a right hip contusion, but he is cleared to play, so something to keep your eye on.
All right, Allie, thank you. Was healthy and had a good opening season game last week. 7-3.
And it looks like the change is going to be permanent at right tackle. The next series up, and still a new tackle, number 58, true freshman, back in the game.
And that's School. S-K-U-L-E. First down 10. Ralph Webb. Deep back in the eye. Webb goes left. Jordan Jenkins with the tackle, one of the outstanding linebackers.
Well, a lot of people thought Jordan Jenkins was going to turn pro. He decided he was close to graduating and wanted to come back. Between he and Leonard Floyd, they got bookends. And if they get improved play inside, Georgia is going to be legit, a legit contender to get to that SEC championship. It's been a bad taste in their mouth the last 2 years. They thought they were good enough, and they did not get there.
There always seems to be a pothole. You know, they get bumped, at the most unexpected time. 2nd down and 6. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
Well, last week, Johnny McCrary, number 2, the quarterback for Vanderbilt, rushed for 66 yards. Now, I had the game plan all drawn up in my mind, but Andy Ludwig has not come my way at all, has he? He has not run him at all. He got out of the pocket one time, completed a pass, and then got the benefit of the Floyd call on the face mask, but there have been no design run plays so far in the game for McCrary. Let's see if they can control those 2 edge rushers.
3rd and 4. 4-man rush, Georgia. Deep ball, incomplete. Sailed on him again. It'll be 4th down. He's not having a good start.
We'll say this, too, for McCrary, the tough he's in. I mean, he's got really not a lot of time to throw the ball, and Vanderbilt doesn't look like they're trying to get deep. Georgia is squatting on every throw. So as a quarterback, you're looking out there, and there's a red jersey in your vision on every throw. They're going to have to throw the ball deep as well and try to loosen up that defense.
Openshaw is on.
No, that's why I think the play-action pass. I'm surprised we're not seeing it yet.
Isaiah McKenzie, this one is going to chase McKenzie all the way back to the 23. Starts right. Gets a block. Turns the corner. And then he is stuffed as he gets to the 35-yard line. Kari Blassingame, number 23, made the tackle. That was a huge punt, 56 yards. 12 on the return. CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot SEC will continue after this message and a word from your local station. Rushing totals in the history of Georgia football. A guy named Herschel in 1980. Nick Chubb, 2nd on that list. And Todd Gurley in 2012 with 1,385 yards. And that is our cue to get the duck on stage. Time for the Aflac trivia question. Who holds the Georgia rushing record for most yards in a single game? Gosh, did we give it away, do you think?
How could you not pick? I mean,
yeah, I know.
Well, Grayson Lambert has started out this game 0 for 4, but we haven't seen a deep ball yet either. The safeties have been climbing up in the box. Will Georgia go deep anytime soon?
Toss on this play.
Oh, nice read.
Chubb. Isaiah Wynn pulled. Quavon Hicks leading the way.
It's more than just patience. It's a lot of just instincts. Go inside, you set up the blockers, then you find Quavon Hicks, number 48. A lot of that just happens. You're not thinking about it. It's just a natural ability to feel the play and get to the outside. Just a beautiful run by Chubb.
Nick Chubb has now gone over 100 yards for the 9th consecutive game. He gets a handoff left side. Well over 100 now. The last time he did not rush for 100 was against this team. He gained 78. But that was in a relief role because Todd Gurley gained 163.
Yeah, that was that kind of zone keep where the quarterback really isn't a threat to keep it, but the action keeps the defensive outside linebacker honest, and Chubb hits the crack. Good blocking by that Georgia offensive line.
Comes left, gets a block in the open. Tough to bring down. Out of bounds, short of the touchdown.
Yeah, is there?
Whoops.
Yeah, I think this one's coming back too.
Holding on the offense, number 83. Penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
Jim Blazevich, the tight end, is number 83. And run the edge. Usually the tight end has to make a play, and he got all jersey on that one. Right there, he's in the slot position, trying to help out Theus. Gets to the outside, and just enough of a hand on the jersey. Once you get it up by the shoulder pads, that's easy to see.
Sonny Michel back on the field. Here's play action. Into the end zone, double coverage, should have been intercepted. Wow. Bad throw.
Yeah, you're a fifth-year player and a senior. I don't care if this is your first game at Georgia. This is the first thing they teach you. When you're running, throwing the ball down the middle of the field, that's one high safety, and that's inexcusable for a high school quarterback.
Oren Burks missed on the interception, almost a sure thing. It's second down. Well, let's go back to Sony Michel. Bucks off a tackle. Touchdown, Georgia.
Well, quarterback's best friend nearly throw a pick, and then you come back and hand it to the other back, Sony Michel. We knew it. Nice blocking up front again. Nice job by Clavano. Number 54 clears it out, reads it, bounces off a tackle, and you're into the end zone.
Marshall Morgan for the extra point.
The dropped interception. You have chances to win a football game. And when Owen Burke has a chance, you got to make that play.
5 plays, 64 yards, touchdown from 31 out. Sony Michel. Vanderbilt Stadium, Nashville, Tennessee, where Georgia, supported by a ton of fans, has 14-3 lead.
Well, these are opportunities to make plays. Now look right here is the Vanderbilt safety, and he's got his eyes right on the quarterback right here. Oren Burks in middle of the field, quarterback doesn't find him. You got a gift. Make the play. This is what we talked about. It leads to a touchdown, but Vanderbilt has not won the turnover battle in a single game under Derek Mason. There's the opportunity to get the lead in the turnovers.
Marshall Morgan is going to replace Colin Barber on kickoffs now. And Darius Sims, number 6, is deep. Look at that. Georgia zip passing yards. But they have run for 160.
Yeah. There was 70 guys for Georgia that felt good about that touchdown, and one, Lambert, walking off going, oh my God, I saw my life go through my...
That's right. Here's Morgan's kick. Darius Sims, a yard in, and he's out to the 22-yard line. Aerial coverage today provided by Goodyear for 60 years. Goodyear has provided aerial coverage of college football's greatest traditions and biggest rivalries. Nashville, Tennessee, Music City. Got a chance to walk through Lower Broadway the other night with a legend in this town, a country music star named Whispering Bill Anderson, graduate of Georgia. And it was such fun to see. I mean, it's a city of honky-tonks.
Really?
I'm telling you.
I bet more people recognized you than Whispering Bill.
I don't think so. It was a toss-up. McCrary down.
Well, we got our first nominee for All-American.
Jordan Jenkins.
I want to hear a great story. Jordan Jenkins was projected. There were a lot of people surprised. I was surprised he did not go in the draft early, but he did not get the grade he wanted to graduate from college, came back. He's played in all 40 games in his career, 33 starts, but get this, Vern, through spring practice. Okay, this is a guy that almost a all-SEC player, was named most improved player for Georgia in spring football.
That's the 3rd sack for the Bulldogs today. 6th tackle for Jordan Jenkins. Hand off left side out to the 20. Ralph Webb. Sterling Bailey.
Well, defensive coordinator Jeremy Pruitt is starting to put his mark on this defense. We saw him last year. Remember, Vernon had a good season. They stopped some players, but there was a bit of embarrassment. Remember that Florida game when they ran for all those yards? Still getting this system in, his guys in, had to replace a few inside defensive tackles, but I got to tell you, I've seen some of the recruits. They're going to reload here.
Vanderbilt 1 of 8 on 3rd down. McCurry goes deep down in the middle. Oh! Yes, indeed. That's Stephen Shoy, the tight end. And that's a gain of 24 and a first down conversion.
Want to see some anticipation. This is what we're talking about, throwing right off of the defender. That's how the ball has to be thrown. When you're playing major college football, I tell you, you can complete passes, but you have to risk the throw. Did you see how close that was to disaster? But that's how perfect it can work. As John McCurry gets better and better and grows, and Andy Ludwig said he will grow, that's what he potentially can do.
Five-man rush. McCurry goes deep, and it's incomplete down the left side. Inside the 30.
I don't think that was even intended to be a back shoulder throw. I think he kind of short-armed this one a bit. I don't know if he felt big Chris Mays right in his face. I don't blame him. It like he couldn't follow through, and the ball just kind of died on him, didn't it?
Yeah. 2nd and 10. There's Mays. Listed at 323. Right side. Webb. Out of bounds at the 50. It'll be third down. Actually, we'll wait for the official signal. They do move the chain.
You know, on that last play, I want to go back for one thing. I was looking at who was in coverage. I thought it was Malcolm Parrish, 14, but it's actually Leonard Floyd, Vern, on this play. Watch him go running with the slot down the field. When you can have an inside linebacker being able to cover slot backs, you could do a lot of things on defense. I see 2 first-round picks playing linebacker for Georgia right now.
And he's inside again. Across the middle it goes, incomplete, almost picked off. Quincy Mauger, number 20.
You know who Leonard Floyd reminds me of is the Georgia linebacker Alec Ogletree, who was the early draft, first-round pick. He's tall. He can play all over the field. Now that he's moved inside, you can see the ability that he has to make tackles from sideline to sideline. When he was on the outside, they could kind of run away from him. No more. They can't run away from Floyd anymore.
2nd down, 10. 14-3, Georgia leads it. They'll hand it off. I just thought maybe he'd bring it back and...
Yeah, they haven't tried that yet.
Not yet, no.
You know, we talked about the playmakers, Vern, for Georgia, but they also have the steady players. Sterling Bailey, Josh Dawson, Chris Mays, guys that eat blockers. You know, they do the dirty work. They don't get a lot of stats, but they make the plays available for those, highlight plays that Jenkins and Floyd are making on the outside.
3rd down, 9.
Well, he's on the outside now, isn't he?
Caleb Scott, wide left. Blitz. McCurry dodges that. Now he'll pull it up. Got him out at the 30. And it's a first down. Vanderbilt at the 25. It was Caleb Scott, number 9.
Well, Mark Rick is going crazy that they did not call holding on Leonard Floyd on the outside. Let's see if he had a play. He's got Will Holden. Grabs him around the shoulder, but doesn't get the call. On the other side, they thought it might have been Holden to Chooks Amici, but neither one got the call. And then once the quarterback gets to the outside, that's the 2nd time we've seen him make a play outside the pocket for McCrary.
First down, 10 at the 25. Trent Sherfield is bottom of the screen. He's the only wide out on this one. Here's the play fake, and the ball a little low. Sterling Bailey was in the neighborhood. And the ball intended for Dallas Rivers, number 28.
Well, we've been calling for the play action pass, but Georgia was ready for it. Great job inside by the inside linebacker, Gaines, number 51. Leading the play, the transfer room, as Vern told you, from UAB was all over that play. Jake was the leading tackler for UAB in 2013 and 14. Comes over here as a graduate player and comes in and gets the play. Not bad.
Right side, Webb to the 21, make it the 22-yard line.
Here we go, 3rd down again, 3 for 10. Now the good news is Vanderbilt has had 10 opportunities. This will be the 11th 3rd down play. They have 38 plays to 17. So some good things for Derek Mason is happening. Can they put points on the board again? The only success, the one good throw by McCrary in the pocket. Otherwise, they've had to get him outside the pocket.
Rayford and Sherfield wide left on third down. Nothing. Nothing.
Don't quite get down.
Jordan Jenkins, guess who? I don't either.
I think Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator, blanked out, thought he was at Wisconsin again for a second. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Melvin Gordon.
Yes.
James White.
And an offensive line, too.
Yes, exactly. So 41-yard field goal attempt from Openshaw. He's hit one in the ball game.
Yeah, field goal, though, does make it a one-possession game, so maybe that's what he was thinking. Did not want to risk a play.
High. Good. (14-6). You're wondering what that sound is.
I know what it is.
That's a steam whistle, of course. Never a good sign if you're the starting quarterback and during the timeout you put a baseball cap on and then the headphones. There's
only when
you have
only when you have a big lead, basically. But in this situation now, it was. Remember when I said everybody was happy, but the quarterback leaving the field. You kind of know. You start out 0 for 5 and you almost throw a bad pick like that. You might see someone else, and it's going to be Bryce Ramsey, number 12. I think is going to be the new quarterback.
Oh, right? Ramsey very disappointed that he did not get the nod as the starter.
Well, I go back to that graphic we showed earlier, the one with Matt Stafford sitting there,
Yeah.
If you talk to the Georgia people, everybody raved that they thought it was going to be Ramsey. And he's got a ton of potential, but Mark Richt and Brian Schottenheimer didn't think he was ready yet. So they went with the veteran. Bryce Ramsey, the thought was it was his job to lose going into camp. And he didn't win it.
Very short kick by LaCoche. And Brendan Douglas, number 22, brings it out. Well, Ramsey, it came down to the starting quarterback being named on Monday before the game last week. And now Ramsey, and
he's got a great arm. I mean, he has NFL potential throwing the football. It's just in Mark's opinion, with the type of running game they had, he wasn't quite ready. I mean, when you go get a transfer quarterback, you kind of know that he had doubts. So let's see if Bryce Ramsey can grab this job and make it his.
The throw on first down, wings it out to the right. Michelle looks for blocking help and picks up a 1st and 10 with a 15-yard gain.
Isn't it funny when you talk to the coaches and they basically said the same thing? Nick Chubb could be our Heisman candidate, but maybe the best football player on the team could be Sony Michel. You can put him anywhere on the field. He could play defensive back, wide receiver, coming out of the backfield. He's a typical third down back you see in the NFL. Get him the ball and he can make people miss. He's very valuable.
That is the first pass completed by Georgia in the ball game. Play action. Ramsey's got his tight end open. Finds him. And that's going to be close for another first down. That's Jackson Harris, number 88. True freshman. Let's bring the duck back and answer the question. Who holds a Georgia rushing record for most yards in a single game? Now, I'm just stunned at that. Herschel Walker. In 1980.
That's against Vandy? Was that against Vandy?
Yes.
It's a crucial burn as we watch Herschel finish that off. And speaking of Vandy, this is a critical part of this football game for Vanderbilt. Clock's running down in the half. Plus, remember, they deferred, so they get the ball to start the second half.
Michelle. First down and 10.
It's one of those situations where you can make a sustained drive, score with under a minute, and then you get the ball back, and all of a sudden a tight game becomes a very comfortable football game.
Second down 6. Georgia, 164 yards. Now 68 of those yards came on a Nick Chubb run.
Let's see if Dave Mason continues to bring some heat.
Well, the center was knocked on his, here's an old-fashioned word, his keister. Keister.
I've heard that.
Have you really?
Yes.
You're older than I thought.
Exactly.
Prior to the snap, false start, 71 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Let's go down to Allie to explain keister. See how good she is.
Oh, my goodness.
There you go.
They say not to say on air, but that's when I'm going to use it.
I never thought I'd get keister in the broadcast in 2015. Second down with 2:13 to go in the first half. Michelle remains the running back. Bryce Ramsey, 2 out. Third down. Intended for Reggie Davis.
I thought Reggie stumbled coming back out of his break a little bit. Did he or did he not? No, that was a bad throw. You had it right, Vern. Just a bad throw all the way.
Try here.
Yep, you got it. Throw a keister around and you get the right. Let's see it, third and long. Remember, they've not sacked Georgia in 2 games. Looks like it's only going to be a 3-man rush here.
Indeed, yes.
Or will they bring 4? They do.
Ramsey with a lot of protection, deep left side. Malcolm Mitchell. Boy, it was good defense.
I think, was that Burks again coming across to save the play?
Yep.
Oren Burks might have dropped one, but on this play, he saved one because I think Malcolm Mitchell was going to get this catch. Climbs it, he's got it, and Burks dislodges it. Trey Herndon, I think, was there. Good coverage, but Malcolm Mitchell was going to make that play.
Yeah, Burks with a fine effort. So on fourth down, it's Colin Barber on to punt. 14-6, under 2 to go, first half. So let it bounce.
Hey, did that hit a Vandy player?
That's what they're claiming.
Absolutely. That happened a week ago in the Western Kentucky game. The Georgia player, I think. Well, obviously it'll be replayed. But did it hit a Vandy player?
We're going to get the flag out. Gaines is claiming.
Yeah, Gaines believes it hits the Vandy player on the helmet.
Jamel McIntosh.
Oh, you can't tell though, can you? You can't tell from that replay. Gaines is right there. He believes it's happened, but it's not going to get stopped by the replay official, and they're going to get away with it.
Webb. Dallas Rivers.
You know what I'm surprised, Vern, is that Mark Richt wouldn't take a timeout there and take a peek at that. I mean, what does he need timeouts for?
Yeah. That's not definitive.
Yeah, but Mark Richt doesn't know that. Mark doesn't know we don't have like 20 cameras here. You know, it might have been worth a review. You got your linebacker out there saying it hit him. So a stop here. He's got 2 to use. I guess, you know, save it. It has its merits too.
Ralph Webb back in the backfield. Out across the 15 to the 16.
He's going to take it, no doubt. He does not have a lot of he has great confidence in his defense, and rightly so.
So the clock stops with 63 seconds to go first half.
So let's go into Mark's thinking right there. Instead of taking the timeout to get the replay, he trusted the replay official and said, I want my 2 because I want to get the ball back.
At halftime, we'll go back to New York. The Geico halftime report with Adam, Rick, and Brian. Scores and highlights from week 2 in college football. Perfect. Just perfect. Third down. McCrary. Right side.
Snuck that one in there perfectly.
He sure did.
And that's more about, just protecting the Vanderbilt defense from Georgia getting the ball than trying to mount a 2-minute offense here, because every throw has been a dangerous throw for Vandy, and I think they need to be careful here.
Rayford made the last catch. McCrary out to the right side. It's Latavius Rayford again, junior out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Right now, head coach Derek Mason is saying, Andy, I'll let you throw, but they have to be safe throws. I'll let you open it up when we get to the 50, but I've got an 8-point game from a team that wants to get this in the second half.
Second down and 4.
Don't need a big mistake by a young quarterback right before halftime.
McCrary gets loose, fires it. That's going to be another first down. Vandy at the 37-yard line.
He's made McCrary, three really nice plays outside the pocket.
That was Latavius Rayford, number 86. And McCrary hit as he goes down by Sterling Bailey. Vanderbilt has 2 timeouts remaining. Sherfield wide to the top of the screen, number 10, and Rayford to the right. McCrary.
Over the back.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Dominic Sanders, number 24, came up and over the back.
Well, here we go. Now out at midfield, you're going to see the whole offense now. So far, Georgia's played it very safely. 2 high
Pass interference on the defense, number 24. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Now we'll see if Georgia doesn't try to get Floyd back on the edge and Jenkins on the edge, because so far they've been playing it very safe.
Target line to the field goal, just inside the 30. McCrary across the middle, hit as he lets it go, and there's a little tiny bit of shoving going on. Second down, 10. Caleb Scott wide top of the screen to the left. Georgia brings 4. Right side. Third down, intended for Chris Cantera, number 82.
No matter what right now for Vanderbilt, they're going to get out of this half and survive it. And that's the big thing right now. The great play, I mean, we talk about the one play when Vanderbilt didn't make the interception by Burks. He came back and made the great play to save a big completion. They survived 1 or 2 first downs, and now they're going to at least take it to half down just 1 possession.
Stunts defensively, Georgia. They go deep over the middle. Sanders went for the interception.
Sure did.
And DeAndre Woods makes the catch, 25 yards.
I don't think Johnny McCrary thought the ball was complete because he got hit. He got smoked on that play, and he was looking around as if, really? Threw it in traffic. Nice ball in between 3 players, but he had no idea that his guy came down with it, because when he looked up, everybody was happy. He goes, what?
Vanderbilt timeout with the first down at the 25. And let's mention the disparity in offensive plays run by these teams.
It's credible. I mean, Vanderbilt is huddling every play, and they've got 47 plays. I mean, that is big, getting a football team into the 4th quarter, which was Derek Mason's goal. Just let us get to the 4th quarter with it being a game.
McCrary back, right side, almost picked off, bobbled and dropped by Stephen Shoy, the tight end, number 81.
Yeah, Timmy Kimbrough, the 42, the linebacker, was right there, but it was a very good throw and could have been caught.
McCrary now 8 of 19. And it's second down at the 25.
One thing you know that Vanderbilt wants to do is get a shot at a field goal. It's an 8-point game. You go into half. I mean, they were happy to be in.
2 wide left.
Still have a timeout so they can call any play.
McCrary down the middle. Incomplete. At the 5. That's Shoy, the tight end.
All right, I'm going to bet you $10.
Okay.
Quarterback draw or a draw on this play. Screen at the most.
Okay.
Because they want to gain some yards for a field goal.
Well, if they kick it now, it'd be 42.
Taking me?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, here we go.
Of course.
Quarterback draw, or screen.
Third down 10.
Dropped it.
I'll take your Benjamins.
You got it. Was it just 10 or was it more than that? Hey, you got to give Andy Ludwig credit. He had confidence in his quarterback more than I did. Drove it down the field. I was thinking, let's get it moved up for a better chance at a field goal, but they went with it all the way.
Tommy Openshaw has hit 2 today, both in excess of 40. This from 43. Plenty of distance. Doink!
Go ahead, you say it, Brian.
Oofta.
No, I thought they were 5 yards closer. Oh, man. Well, great drive. Vanderbilt's defense hung in there, gave up some big plays, got some quarterback play at the end of it, but that was 6 inches from being a 5-point game.
So 2 of 3 now for Openshaw. That's going to be the final play of the first half.
Well, Vern, as you see Georgia and Mark Richt go off, Georgia gets the ball. We know that. What we don't know, who's going to be the quarterback?
I'll bet you.
I'm tired. I'm not betting.
I just thought I'd take advantage of the opportunity. Let's go down to Ellie, who's with Derek Mason.
Coach, your team had that huge pass breakup, then marched all the way down the field with the 2 drops and the missed field goal. What happened with the mental errors?
You know, for us, man, we just have to be better. You look at what we did in the first half. You have a punt return, and that opens this game up a little bit, and then we come back and we give up multiple long runs. Just got to be better. We got to tackle better. Just finish.
Georgia decided to go with Bryce Ramsey in that second quarter. What do you have to change defensively, if anything at all, now that he's the quarterback?
Nothing. Okay, man, we just got to tackle Chubb and all these running backs because they're running the ball. They're not throwing it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Halftime. Bulldogs lead. Let's go back to the force with Mark Richt.
Coach, big plays kept you alive in that first half, but Vanderbilt has ran significantly more, 50 to your 23 plays. How much of a concern is that for you?
Well, that's not good. Obviously, we got to make more first downs. We're 0-4, whatever, on third down conversions. We got to do better there. We just got to block better. We run the ball decent from time to time, but we got to throw and catch better.
You decided to go with Bryce instead of Grayson. Why'd you make that move, and will we see him start the second half?
No, we do that. That's my plan. We do that.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
And there is Grayson Lambert, helmet on.
Hey, he's going to play. I think you better start completing some passes, though, pretty soon, because most 0 for 5 in baseball, you get to play the next day. In football, you don't.
And the kickoff. Georgia deferred the option. Fumbled out of bounds.
Yeah. And is smartly knocked out of bounds because that was very close to being a live ball.
I lost a wager to you.
Yes, we're even.
I thought sure he'd make the change for the second half.
Well, it's a long season. I think he wants both of them, obviously. But here's what I think he's right about. They need to start pitching and catching the football. You know, we said in the open, you got to have a quarterback to win the SEC. You're not going to just run the ball and win this conference. Remember, Georgia's trying to win a championship. Yes, this game. But to do that, they need some quarterback play. And it's not been good enough in the first half. Well, Grayson Lambert does get the nod. He was replaced by Bryce Ramsey. At the 12, play action, Lambert goes incomplete to Malcolm Mitchell. Tipped. I think that one was tipped. Yeah. Had Mitchell wide open on that play, but the Atlanta scrimmage got him knocked down. Grayson's a tall quarterback. Surprisingly, got that one knocked down on a 20-yard throw. Play action again. He slips as he lets it go, and this one in and out of the hands of Blazevich. Yeah, not a very good throw. Going right at his ankles. The tight end's not going to make that catch over the middle. First half trends, Gary. Yeah, Nick Chubb had one big run. And Miami had some other nice ones, 3 or 4 other nice ones, but one big run. The kicker for Vanderbilt, I mean, he had the last one he missed, but he also made the big play on the punt fake. And then you see it as Allie talked to Mark Ritt. Will it be a problem? And it could be in the fourth quarter. It's a lot of plays. Yet to convert a third down. He's 0 for 7 throwing. Slips. Wow. My gosh. Nick Chubb. And remember, that said it all right there for Vanderbilt. Derek Mason's asked his defense, yes, you've played solid football, but we need to make some big plays. And there's an opportunity again for Vanderbilt to make a big play. They do not get a sack. We talked about it. They have not sacked a Georgia quarterback now in 2.5 games. Everything there for an opportunity for Vanderbilt. And what happens? Lambert produces a first down. Two things. First third down conversion and Lambert's first pass completion in this game. It's Chubb. Just a couple. John Theus, a little shoving match. This Vanderbilt defense looks just more comfortable with the system than they did a year ago. Remember, they made the shift a year ago from the 4-3 to the 3-4. Never really got it going. They look way more comfortable, but Vandy is creeping up in the backfield. Lambert. That's for Reggie Davis. The big change in the offseason, Derek Mason made 2 significant changes. Let go both his offensive and defensive coordinator. He named Andy Ludwig on offense and took the job himself on defense. Well, that is where he made his reputation. He's one of 2 coaches who occupy both of those spots, Rocky Long being the other. Chubb to the 37-yard line on first down. Nephi Lealo made the tackle. Lealo that time just kind of stuffed it. Just held his man, got pushed, just kept his hand up in a 2 technique, allowed himself, and then fell off and made the play. Second down, under 13 to go, third quarter. Feels like the wind is picking up a bit here. It gets left to right across your screen. Getting a little darker too. Flag down. As Chubb struggles up near the 43. Zach Cunningham, if the play stands, will be given credit for the tackle.
Illegal shift on the offense. Penalty is 5 yards. Replay second down.
Over at practice a week ago before our Auburn game against Louisville, and talked to Mark, and I said, how involved are you in the offense? You hired a new guy. Obviously, you once were a coordinator. Handed it off to Mike Bobo for a number of years, and he said, I've gone to every meeting, but I have total faith in Brian Schottenheimer. Brian's calling all the plays. I like what he's doing.
First season as the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach at Georgia. Lambert goes right, overthrows the intended receiver. Good coverage downfield. That was Isaiah McKenzie, and it's going to be 3rd and long. Oh, look at this.
Yep, I played for Danny Schottenheimer, Marty Schottenheimer, who I think actually could take a run at the Hall of Fame as a head coach, by the way. Those teams with Bernie Kosar as the quarterback, I thought we had the best team in the league 2 straight years, and Mr. Elway knocked us out.
I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah. 3rd down to 10. Out of the backfield, Michelle. He's going to be far. Well, no, he's not going to be far short. Look at him reverse field. Look at him get a 1st down. Now tiptoeing down the sidelines, and there's a flag.
Yep, it's going to be a clip, pushing the back, I believe, or holding from the receiver. It's going to be on Terry Godwin, number 5, the freshman. Anytime a offensive player reverses field, there's always that problem with the guys blocking downfield, trying to get the right angle.
Holding, number 5 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Boy, and that's a play that Sony Michel showed you why he can be so valuable to this team. You throw him a 2-yard pass, and he made a 1st down on his own. Right side of your screen, you'll see right at the end of it, the play called. He was holding on Trey Herndon, number 31.
And so after the penalty, the ball spotted at the 38-yard line, and it's 3rd down.
Well, Vandy has been bringing people. What will they do now? You know they're going to match up man-to-man. They're not going to allow, I believe, Lambert to sit in the pocket and throw against the zone.
Starts defensively. Lambert hit from behind. That's going to be ruled a fumble, I believe.
Finally, a sack and a play made by the defense. Remember, Lambert got away from one earlier in this drive, but not that time. From the backside, Jay Woods comes around the corner and makes the play, and Georgia very lucky to get that football back.
They did recover, and they will punt on 4th down, apparently.
So a tough penalty for Georgia, because that was a 1st down.
Wiped out a 21-yard gain.
Yep.
Now Colin Barber on to punt. Bit of a high snap, controlled by Barber. This one, fair catch. Near the 30. Torin McGaster, a quarterback. Time called. Tough start for Lambert.
You can see improvement, but what's not happening yet is they're not finishing the plays. They have opportunities from Western Kentucky into the red zone, not enough points today. Opportunities to make plays both on defense and offense, and at the end, an opportunity to make it a 5-point game. They don't. They're in the football game. They're competing. No doubt they're an improved football team, especially defensively. And you can almost see, as Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator, told us, Johnny McCrary's going to get better and better as the year goes along. You can see it in this football game, him improving.
Well, he comes out now having completed 8 of 21 passes for 107 yards. But he's rushed, well, and this includes sacks, of course, 4 for -20.
They're not calling running plays for them, are
right.
They just are not doing it.
On 1st down 10, trailing by 8. Webb comes left. Ralph Webb's hometown is Gainesville, Florida. Did not get a nod from the University of Florida. Had a shot with North Carolina State. They offered another guy.
Yep.
The other guy decommitted, right?
No, he took it.
Thank you.
And he was going to go to Minnesota.
Thank you.
And then at the last second, gets a phone call from Vanderbilt and says, all right, I'll take the deal at Vanderbilt.
That was a kick save and a beauty.
Yes, exactly.
And I thank you for that. 2nd down and 9.
2nd and 14.
Yes.
False start. 58 offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's Justin's school. By the way, just as a point of reference, Jordan Jenkins has 9 tackles already.
Yeah, and some big ones too, right?
Right. There's Jenkins.
Has the 5-star player Trenton Thompson got on the field? I have not noticed him make a play if he's played at all.
I've not seen him.
Yes, big number 78, player of the year, biggest recruit Georgia signed this year.
McCrary back. Oh, it's intercepted. No, drop. Leonard Floyd had visions of the end zone, and he lost his concentration.
You know how much when you see that play right there, and I listen, I swear I'm not picking on McCrary. He's going to be a fine player. But this is a tough league to break in a quarterback, and look what that could have been. It's disaster waiting to happen unless you really know what you're doing at the quarterback position. Jeremy Pruitt is one of the outstanding coaches in all of college football, and he's got a lot of pieces with this Georgia defense.
3rd down 14. Floyd on the end. Here's McCrary, hit from behind, gets rid of it. This one is intercepted.
Well, give half of it to Leonard Floyd, I'll tell you that right now.
Reggie Wilkerson gets the interception.
Floyd's going to come around the edge and almost grab the football again. School is saying, they didn't see that in high school. Like I want to tell them, there's not a lot of guys like Floyd, but in this league, there's a few.
Time called after the turnover. Overhead view of downtown Nashville. What a fun city to visit. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. For 60 years, Goodyear has provided aerial coverage of college football's greatest traditions and biggest rivalries.
As you look at Grayson Lambert, I asked Mark Richt, what did you like about him, and did you watch a lot of tape of him at Virginia? And Gary, you know what stuck out to me? The game against Florida State, he got hit about 15 times, and he still had a good game. In that game, they lost 34-20, but he was 20 for 35 for 220 yards and 3 touchdowns. But he said he took a beating and hung in there. I had a lot of respect for him. So you can see why Mark's wanting to hang with him, because he believes he can come through again.
2nd down. Officially 9 yards needed for the first. There's the pass and slant pattern. And the catch made by Terry Godwin. Now let's check in with Allie on the defensive unit for Vanderbilt.
Thank you, Vern. I've been roaming the sidelines on Vanderbilt's side, and their defensive unit stayed pumped up that entire last drive that they were on the sidelines. Safety coach Matty Oley made sure they stayed up, just encouraging them the entire time. He said, take angles, keep working. This is going to work out for us. He looked right at Arnold Tarpley. He said, they're coming to you every time.
Look at Sony Michel. Thank you, Allie. Malcolm Mitchell goes wide left. Reggie Davis wide to the right.
As Allie was saying, I think that's Tarpley right there, the nickel back.
Tight end. Blazevich breaks the tackle. He's to the 10-yard line. Gain of 19.
Well, you can see Lambert looks like he's settling down here. Made the big scramble play out of the end zone. Nice pitch and catch to Blazevich right there. Breaks the tackle. And they're now, Owen Burks missed the tackle on the play. And now they're inside. Well, it's basically goal to goal, right?
Yep. Hand off Michelle. Getting quite a bit of playing time.
That's interesting.
It is. And Michelle went out with a bit of an injury last week in the red zone, 4 for 4 in that weather-shortened game to win over Louisiana Monroe. 2nd down. Sonny Michel stays on the field. Dangerous throw. Reggie Davis, the intended receiver.
3-on-2 coverage. That's what Vanderbilt is playing there. They got 3 guys covering 2 guys, and almost ended up catching a bobbled pass was Weatherly that night, number 45, coming off the edge and following the ball.
Malcolm Mitchell goes wide to the left. Terry Godwin is in the slot on 3rd down. Play clock at 5. Play clock at 2. Got it. Michelle. Yeah, to set up a field goal attempt for Marshall Morgan.
Well, I guess there's a rotation here because that's a big series not to have your featured back in the football game. Now, you can't run him 35 times a game, but he's only got 12, and that's a big, those are big points right there. 8-point game. If you can you can see Mark Richt was not happy with the way Michelle ran that play.
This will be a field goal attempt of 20 yards. Marshall Morgan. And the lead is extended to 11 points, 17-6.
Still think Derek Mason will take that stop from his defense. Staying in the game. Just get it to the 4th quarter. That's what Vanderbilt wants.
17-6 now. Georgia leads it. This fall, Academy Award winner Marcia Gay Harden stars in the new medical drama Code Black. Premieres Wednesday, September 30th. Only CBS. Well, a nice defensive stop by Vandy.
It was. It's one of those things. When you got a great player, there is a rotation, I assume. Anytime you don't score, I'm sure Georgia fans are either doing one of 2 things. They're saying, why isn't Gurley getting the ball? Or why doesn't Danielson just shut up about it? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Shump get the ball, or why doesn't Danielson just shut up about who gets the ball?
You're late.
Well, I got there eventually.
Yeah, no, you did. Absolutely. Well, 12 carries for Nick Chubb. 68 yards of his total of 135 came on 1 run.
He's actually speaking of Gurley, that was my favorite part of the draft when he got drafted. Wasn't that a great
absolutely.
Felt great for him.
Morgan kicks off. And that will be a touchback. Well, the SEC spotlight, the day began with 10 teams in the top 25.
It's not bad.
All 7 teams in the West are ranked. How about that?
Well, the struggle by Auburn was shocking today, though. I mean, I have to admit that. I thought that was going to be one of those name-your-score days, okay? And now Auburn is going to be headed to LSU. LSU obviously is going to play their opening game of the year. They got a tough break.
Yes, they
not
did.
Getting that game played. So they go in without a game played into Starkville against Dak Prescott, Dan Mullen, and that crew of cowbells.
First down 10. Ralph Webb is the lone running back. He'll go left, right, and hit behind the line. Did I see this? Did I read this correctly? That the folks in Starkville are going for the Guinness World Record for most cowbells rung at a single time.
Right. I did see that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem hard.
You didn't write it down?
No, but I didn't. It doesn't seem hard because how many people actually do this? You know, I mean, it's who do they compete against is what I want to know.
The Norwegians.
Okay. I thought that was a slam dunk to own that record.
Second down 11. And it's going to be 3rd and long.
I have no idea what Andy Ludwig is going to call here right now. Offensive coordinator for Vanderbilt. Remember last time, going in for the field goal, I thought for sure they would protect the quarterback, try to gain 5 yards and kick the field goal. Last time, it was 3rd and 14. They're having trouble handling the outside rush from Floyd and Jenkins, and they got a pass play call and got it picked off. Now what does he dial for a quarterback that is 8 for 23?
deep down the middle, and it should have been intercepted for the second time by Reggie Wilkerson.
Yeah, and Wilkerson locked on, and that's exactly what he's going to do. If this guy goes vertical, he will run with them and turn around the linebacker spot. It's kind of probably a dime defense, but he jams and looks for the ball, and boy, that was not pretty, and Georgia was a step ahead on that one, and that one could have been picked off.
McCrary now a rather woeful 8 of 24 for 107 yards. Here's Openshaw. Nice punt. Fair catch. Isaiah McKenzie, who got the scoring started today with a 77-yard punt return. That one's a 40-yard punt, nothing on the return. Georgia with the lead. Thursday night football returns to CBS with the Broncos visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. Jim, Phil, Tracy, and the gang will all be there after they do Baltimore and Denver tomorrow. Thursday night football on CBS. A guy named Peyton and a guy named Jamal Charles might figure prominently in that one.
About time. I'm ready to do something on Thursday nights. You know me, I'm back in my room watching football.
Yeah. I do know.
You know, we talk a little bit about how many plays Vanderbilt, but we haven't talked enough about how good the Georgia defense only had 161 yards.
Reverse. Isaiah McKenzie. Oh, that was close.
I think you can almost see from Brian Schottenheimer's call on first down, he has a feeling right here that he can put this game away with a touchdown in this series. He comes out with a little something different. Great respect for that run defense for Vandy, but he wants to spread them out a bit now.
First down and 10 after a 24-yard gain. Here's Chubb inside the 40. Let's go to Adam Zucker in our New York studio for a Ford update. Oh, that's tragic. Wow. Second down. Malcolm Mitchell, who's authored a children's book now. Remember, did a feature a couple of years ago on Malcolm Mitchell joining Ladies Reading Club in Athens?
Well, he's had some time to write that book because the last couple of years he's only really started 3 games. We remember him in 2012 when he tried to play corner and wide receiver, but then he was injured the first game of the season against Clemson. Remember the celebration when he pulled his ACL?
Yep.
And last year he never really got healthy. And maybe we'll see the true Malcolm Mitchell, because when he's healthy, he's a pretty good player.
He's out on the left side. The Chubb
caught from behind.
Yes. Stephen Weatherly.
Yes, it was. Coming off the edge. One of the guys that Derek Mason talked about was Weatherly, number 45. He said he could play in space. He comes around the corner and can cover people out of the backfield. He said a true playmaker.
Second down, 13 after the loss of 3. Screen pass. Chubb. Sure was.
Great. That's the kind of pursuit that Derek Mason had when he ran that Stanford defense. I mean, you know, he coached that defense against all those spread teams in the Pac-12, and I asked him, what's the key? And he goes, it's simple. You run to the ball. You got to run to the ball. Defensive linemen, linebackers, everybody, and you have to tackle in space, and they did.
Third down 10. Lambert got it at the 10-yard line. Isaiah McKenzie.
McKenzie's just going to run an in route on a perfectly thrown ball right in the. I thought the safety was going to get a piece of this one. slot. He's on the robber position, and the ball was thrown perfectly by Lambert that time. As we talked about early for Vandy, if you're willing to throw the ball accurately in tight spaces, Georgia people have seen that happen for so long. Aaron Murray, David Green, Matthew Stafford, there's always room to fit it in.
Toss, Chubb tries to get around the edge, does. Out of bounds at the 5. Nigel Bowden made the tackle. Well, Vanderbilt's red zone defense presented by Verizon. This is last week. And now clock is stopped. Official timeout. Player down. Stephen Weatherly for Vanderbilt. Georgia at the 5 as they tend to the injury. Stephen Weatherly walking off without assistance. And we're back to play second down from the 5.
It'll be hard not to give the ball to Chubb, isn't it? Oh, keeper. How about that?
Wish I'd bet you.
Yeah, that was a nice play. Everybody else thought it was going to Chubb, too. Well, Georgia needed that drive. You know, they had a lot go right for them in big plays, but they needed a drive. Their defense produced an early turnover. Vanderbilt's run a lot of plays, but not for a lot of yards. And even Grayson Lambert, who's not a running quarterback, could trot in on that one.
So the extra point coming up now after Lambert's 5-yard touchdown run. Marshall Morgan. (24-6). Final 1:47 third quarter. Lambert extends its lead to 18. And Vanderbilt has not shown much offensively in this ball game. See if they can get something going. Morgan. And touchback.
Well, Vern, you have to believe that this was a read play all the way. It's going to be man-to-man coverage. Let's run this to at least the mesh point. Start it up and watch. Right when Grayson Lambert puts it into the pocket of the tailback. Let's stop it right there. Then his eyes goes to the guy he's reading right there at the end of the line of scrimmage. He sinks in. It's an easy keep, and you trot into the end zone.
Well executed for Grayson Lambert. And the lead is now 24-6. The Vanderbilt Commodores. See how deep your research was. Why the Commodores?
It was the person who started the university.
I got you. I got you.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. They gave the money for it.
Right.
Okay. Here's McCrary. And that one's incomplete. Let's go back to Adam Zucker in our studio for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan. Thank you, Adam. I had a chance to meet Trevon Boykin last year at one of the banquets, the Walter Camp Award. He's such an outstanding young man.
That's what we hear. Yeah.
And it's great to see him playing so well.
I do think that there should be a rule against throwing highlights from Stephen F. Austin for Heisman content. Really?
Well, it detracts us from the discussion of what is a Commodore. Just to complete it, you were there.
Close.
Cornelius Vanderbilt, who was a shipping magnate back in the 1800s, 1870, gave enough money to found Vanderbilt University. Because of his shipping interests, he was named the Commodore.
Gotcha.
Thus, he never visited the campus. You see, you're watching football places.
So let me get this right. I've been here one more time than the guy who started it.
That would be true. That would be true. McCrary slides down. Well, it is one of the outstanding universities in the United States.
Beautiful place, I admit it.
Yeah. You can group it with the Dukes, the Northwesterns, the Stanfords, Vanderbilt Commodores.
And the formula is that in all those that you named, number one, you can't beat yourself. And that's why that stat was so, Duke, Northwestern, Vanderbilt, you have to play solid football. And Vanderbilt hasn't built that team yet where they don't win those. You got to win the turnover badge, and that's number one. Number two, you've got to win when you've got your junior and senior classes. When you rebuild, you got to survive. You have to build to those years when you have a lot of veterans.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
And timeout called by the Georgia Bulldogs. With 22 seconds to go. Well, take a look at our AT&T strong performance Georgia linebackers today.
Well, we open with them, and it's not hard to do. They've got two thoroughbreds in Jenkins and Floyd and a lot of other good football players around them. But those two today have earned accolades. Last week we gave the losing quarterback the player of the game. Can you give it to two linebackers for player of the game?
Hey, you and I are in charge.
We're in charge. That's sad.
In our minds.
I think in this situation, by the way, Vern, Mark called timeout because he wanted to play safe, anticipating a fake, or at least let Derek Mason know I'm ready for the fake.
Well, they're coming. There was a bump, and no flag is thrown. Reggie Davis made the catch. Don't miss the season premiere of TV's #1 comedy. It's a new night, The Big Bang Theory, Monday, September 21st, right here on CBS.
Well, and the plays. Georgia's run as many plays in the third quarter, 25 more plays than they ran in the whole first half, 23.
First down 10. That's Keith Marshall. Mentioned he and Todd Gurley, roommates, freshman year. They both had great seasons. And then Marshall was injured for much.
Remember, we were there, Vern. That was that Tennessee game. That was so sad to see. That was a game where a lot of Georgia players got hurt. I think Michael Bennett got hurt in that football game.
Yep. That's the end of 3 with our score. 24-6. We'll return. Georgia Vandy. Vanderbilt officially from Vanderbilt Stadium in Nashville. And it's 24-6 now. Well, I was a little surprised, having made the switch to Bryce Ramsey, that Mark Richt went back to his senior quarterback. But
well, he told Allie it was a plan.
Yeah.
Right? That was part of the plan. That was the rotation. But let's talk to Grayson Lang. He started out 0 for 5. Then he got benched for one series. Then he went 0 for 7. But since then, 8 for 10 for 93 yards. Now, we talked about to win the championship, you just can't hand your way off to win a championship. You're going to have to play that position, play it at a high level to win the SEC championship. And it looks like Grayson has gotten more comfortable as the game has gone on.
Malcolm Mitchell out to the 28-yard line. First play, fourth quarter.
One thing about this Georgia football team is they have a lot of experience at two very important spots. Offensive tackle. John Theus and Colton Houston, two guys that are seniors and have seen it all. That really feels comfortable as a quarterback.
This is Keith Marshall. And he appears to have enough for the first down. He does, indeed.
Keith Marshall has seen a lot in his career at Georgia. He burst onto the scene, as Vern was telling you, went through 2 tough years. Last year, he said, was harder than the original injury. And now he says he's finally healthy for the first time in 2 years, so we're pulling for it, Keith.
You bet. Gets the handoff again. In the season opener last week, he was 10 for 73. Well, let's go back to New York. Once again, here's Adam Zucker. Whoa. Jacksonville State took Auburn into overtime, and that was in Auburn. Here's Lambert off his back foot. Blazevich incomplete. Well, that is a stunner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Why do
we
I
take nothing for granted anymore.
No.
Do you? I mean, nothing for
Not at
granted.
all. I'm going to make a small prognostication. There will not be 10 SEC teams in the top 25
Right. I think you're
next
right.
week.
But you never know who else is going to lose.
Well,
I'll
that's
tell you
true.
that.
Keith Marshall heads over to the Georgia bench. Sony Michel, now timeout called.
Yeah, they don't have the right personnel at all on there. They've got all those place cards. They've got 2 quarterbacks wearing yellow hats. They've got arm signals and wristbands. It's still not that easy.
That's not a good color coordination either.
It's time for our Geico game recap.
Well, one of the opening highlights of the game was this run by Nick Chubb. 68 yards officially. He got knocked out of bounds by Trey Herndon to save a touchdown. And then the first actual score of the game, Isaiah McKenzie avoided tackles, got into the open, went 77 yards untouched. His 3rd career punt return for a touchdown. That made it 7-0. Openshaw hit a field goal to get Vanderbilt on the board. And he hit another one. Going, he missed that one. Sony Michel, 31-yard rushing touchdown to make it 14-3. And then Grayson Lambert played fake to Nick Chubb, rolled out, read it perfectly into the end zone, 24-6, and that is where we are right now.
Vern, interesting call here for Georgia. 24-6, 3rd and relatively long. If you're Georgia, are you not thinking, let's stay conservative? The only way Vanderbilt gets in this game is if a big turnover, a big mistake. Worst thing, is not, a punt here is not the worst thing in the world. We'll see.
Okay.
I think I've been right once today.
Yeah. 3rd and 8. Malcolm Mitchell woke up this morning and thought he was Braxton Miller and tried the spin move.
Well, I tell you, it was a nice call, though. Nice safe throw to the outside of the formation. No traffic out there. Mitchell runs a nice stop route to the outside. He looked very quick. Good pitch and catch. Very safe throw. Very well played by Grayson. He's really loosening up now, isn't he? Start out 0 for 7 and you're 10 for 20. You feel really good.
Yes. Nick Chubb back on the field. Watch out.
Oh, one-handed tackle.
Watch out.
By the jersey.
Nigel Bowden saved 6.
That's exactly right. Just by grabbing the jersey. Bowden takes on the blocker and then with his right hand reaches out and just grabs the 7. That's all he had. Playing off the block by Hicks, he had just enough to make the tackle.
16 yards nevertheless. And it's a 1st down 10. Here come the safeties.
Yeah, there's no safeties deep anymore. This is all out.
Reggie Davis with a block out of the wing, and Malcolm Mitchell made the catch. Second down. Nearing the 12-minute mark, fourth quarter. Nice little shoulder move by Chubb. For more on Nigel Bowden, let's go down to Allie LaForce.
Thank you, Vern. When Nigel Bowden takes the field, he's taking it for his brother, Airman First Class Jason Nathan, who was killed in combat in Iraq over 7 years ago. His brother was 8 years older than him. He considered him a best friend, a brother, even a father figure at times. And one of the things his brother told him was, you can't only be good in football, you have to also be good in school. So I joked with him and said, is he the reason that you study in school? And he said, yes, ma'am, he is the single reason that I take school seriously.
And he did say yes, ma'am, right? Yes.
Well, I think the Georgia fans are breathing a deep sigh of relief. I think they feel pretty good about this football game. You know, interestingly, I was looking at it. This is only the second time in the last 24 years that Georgia hasn't opened up their SEC season playing South Carolina. Now, they play them next week, but this is an odd one. They usually open the season, the conference schedule, against South Carolina.
In the backfield. Tackle made by Stephen Weatherly. Good to see him back on the field. He limped off a while ago.
The same play Weatherly made before. Same exact play. He goes around to the outside, slow developing. He's on the blitz, and he makes the play.
Third down, 14. Well, it's not that exciting. I agree. Marshall.
Marshall looked good there. He hit that hole running full speed. You know, he's going to have to get his confidence back. Running the football and taking hits and getting more than 3 or 4 carries. He looked good there.
That'll bring on Marshall Morgan. This one from 43 yards out. Whoops.
Yeah, that's something that's going to be needed before this season's over. We know how these games go.
That's 2 misses for the day for Morgan.
Both left, correct? Both of them he missed left?
Yes, he did.
Yep.
And neither of them was blocked.
No, that's true.
And by Chick-fil-A. After the missed field goal, it's still 24-6. A reminder, the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts coming up a little later into our telecast. 24-6. Gary mentioned that Georgia gets South Carolina next week. Vanderbilt is at home against an in-state school, Austin P.
Kind of a interesting decision that Vanderbilt had to make. Whether you give the backup quarterback some snaps, or do you think that, you know, McCrary needs the snaps to learn long run, and he's the best guy for them to finish out the season and be respectable on offense? I mean, now we've got almost 8 quarters of football here, and 18 points, 1 touchdown all year.
Yep. Down the middle. Oh boy, laid him out.
Now that
Mauger hit Stephen Shoy.
That's close.
Boy, yes it was.
That's close to being a targeting right there.
Yeah.
Let's see if Mauger leads with his helmet. Nope, he missed him. Hit him with his knees.
And Shoy did hang on, and that's a 19-yard catch.
Oh, that was close.
Boy, oh boy.
He was going for him, I'll tell you that right now. Shoy ducks it. He hit him with his shoulder. Good job that time. That's how you got to do it. Mauger Jr. led the team in 4 interceptions a year ago.
McCrary. Ralph Webb And Troy's going to get some medical attention over on the Vanderbilt bench. Third down. McCrary sidearms it, and it's caught, but it'll be short. It'll be 4th down and 1. That's Ralph Webb. Tackle by Tim Kimbrough. Third and 1, I beg your pardon. McCrary got it. Give it 25. It's Ralph Webb. And that's a Vanderbilt first down.
Again, nothing there early. McCrary does what he kind of comfortably does. Moves around in the pocket and delivers the ball a little bit off balance very effectively. He's got to get the pocket part of it now. Georgia has most all their backups in the game for this drive.
McCrary wings it, and it's caught.
Beautiful.
Yes, indeed. Little sidearm toss. And DeAndre Woods made the tackle.
Again, outside of the pocket, he feels very comfortable. The training has to continue in the pocket, but you can see what they like about him as an athlete.
McCrary on this drive, perfect, 68 yards. First down goal. He looks left, fires it inside. It's down to the 3-yard line. Caleb Scott, number 9.
Well, Malcolm Parrish was on the play, but that's a tough one to handle by yourself. Just a quick slant route, and even shorter than going for the goal line.
Caleb Scott in the wrong formation. Now he moves in tight. Second down, McCrary at the feet of the intended receiver, DeAndre Woods.
We talked about it a bit earlier, showing that package, the struggles they had inside the red zone. They moved the ball effectively all game against Western Kentucky, but just could not put points when they needed them in the red zone on the board.
30 goal from the 3.
Did he pull the string or did that get knocked down? That must have been tipped up front. Well, I don't know.
I don't think so.
The ball just kind of slipped out of his hand.
So 4th and goal from the 3.
Yeah, it just came out funny.
Tipped, now flag before the play. Illegal motion.
Margin
Vanderbilt.
snap, false start, 83 offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That's Nathan Marcus, number 83.
Marcus is probably in there because of the injury to Shoy.
Right.
He's the backup tight end.
So they're going to tack on one more second. 6:52. And it's still 4th down, this time from the 8-yard line. McCrary stopped short. So the red zone problems continue for the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Now, Jeremy Pruitt, the defensive coordinator for Georgia, loves this. He's got his backups in the football game, and they produce a goal line stand. Nothing better than all those guys practicing all week and coming in and making a stand at the end right there. Have some of the original defensive backs in, not all of them, but mostly backups on the field.
Now the ball goes over on downs. Derek Mason defensive coordinator and head coach. Jeremy Pruitt, defensive coordinator, Georgia. That's such an important game for Tennessee, I think.
Oh, I think Butch Jones only beaten one top 25 team in his career at Tennessee.
This is Sony Michel. Let's go down to Allie LaForce.
I do have an update on Choi. He's still sitting on the trainer's table, but they were asking him a series of questions. He seemed okay. Then the team gave me official word that he just got the wind knocked out of him. They're giving him time to catch his breath and checking back in with him every once in a while to see when he'll be cleared to go back in.
The wind knocked out of him. That's the official word.
Holding number 47 on the offense. That penalty is declined. Second down.
That's on the fullback, Christian Payne. Or for those of us who've been around a while, called on David Pollock.
Oh, jeez. That's a flashback.
It sure is. Speaking of South Carolina, this goes back years. He made one of the great interceptions in the end zone I have ever seen. And 2002 seems like just yesterday. Second down. And off that much. Sony Michel. Well, let's take a look at the Georgia schedule. They do have South Carolina next week. Then Southern. Huge game at home against Alabama. Huge game at Tennessee. Huge game against Missouri. Really big game in Florida. Life ain't easy all the time. Time call. Vanderbilt fan, and you've gone through last year and the start to this one, it can be a little lonely at times. But by golly, she's hanging in. Many of her colleagues have departed the premises. This was, by the way, a predominantly red-clad Georgia crowd. Made the trip up from Athens and will celebrate tonight. Third down 10. Up the middle, Sony Michel. Under 6 to go.
Vanderbilt's going to use another timeout. No, not going to do it.
Okay. Wouldn't be prudent. Colin Barber will be on the punt.
I don't know why you use one and not the other, I guess.
Torrin McGaster is deep. This is a line drive that
stopped.
Takes a hop. Believe it. 33-yard punt, nothing on the return. And the Dodge postgame show coming up at the conclusion of this one. We'll go back to New York with Adam, Rick, Brian, and update you on, among other things, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and that Arkansas deficit at home. Interesting.
The story of the second half is the Vanderbilt offense could not keep it going. I mean, they had so many plays in the first half. They controlled the ball, but the Georgia defense just shut them down. Too many men on the field for Georgia or Vandy? Which one of the two? Georgia.
Defense, 12 players in formation. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, look at this. Floyd and Jenkins, they actually were on the field on that fourth down play. Watch the replay of it, and they're back on the field now.
Okay. Got it. Crossing route. No, he didn't get it.
Now that's a drop.
Yes. Yes.
I can cover when it's a hard ball throw, but that was a perfect throw right there. Stuck out one hand. Would have been nice to go with two. And Scott drops it.
Second down 5. It's Ralph Webb. Mentioned a part of his story. He's from Gainesville, Florida.
Yep.
And got offered at the last minute. There's going to be the hurry-up offense.
He carried about 212 times. Talking about that before. That's a lot of carries in this league. He's not a huge football player.
McCrary will stroll out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Ralph Webb made his first trip out of the United States back in the spring. Part of a student project, he and 12 others visited Australia. And he went canoeing, he snorkeled in the Great Barrier Reef, and said it was really a terrific trip to enhance his education at Vanderbilt. Here's McCrary.
All right.
That's out of bounds at the 8-yard line. DeAndre Woods.
So kind of a zone blitz concept look. Jeremy Pruitt brings someone off the slot, but busted assignment. That time Dominic Saunders, number 24, peeks in the backfield and doesn't get his man and almost a walk-in.
Here we go. That's a touchdown, Vanderbilt. Latavius Rayford, number 86, from McCrary.
You'll go for two. Two would make it a 10-point game. That's why I thought last time there was some speculation that they may have kicked the field goal last time. I thought a 10-point game would be more important, that it was worth the risk to go in for two. Excuse me, for the touchdown last time and the 2-point play after.
Well, she's still here. So the try for two. 4:33 to go in the ball game. McCrary's got it. It's a 10-point game.
He's a big guy, but he can run. He just got to get better and be comfortable in the pocket, but they love his upside.
Well, number 24, Dominic Sanders, came inside and then got an earful from Jeremy Pruitt as he hit the bench. What were you thinking?
Now you got to make a decision if you're going to go onside kick in this situation with 2 timeouts left.
Tonight on CBS, we'll begin with NCIS and NCIS Los Angeles. Still waiting for NCIS Steamboat Springs. Followed by a new edition of 48 Hours tonight, only CBS. What do you think? Onside?
Well, 2 timeouts left. I mean, I think I'd give it a chance. He's been very aggressive. He went for 2 there. He's really challenged his football team to finish off games. He was disappointed how when they got behind a year ago, they seemed to kind of fold up. And this year he wanted them to understand the importance of finishing off games no matter what the score. So I think he'll be aggressive here.
Georgia expecting the onside attempt.
They're not in a position. Doesn't look like. Now they did practice a straight ahead onside kick.
Okay. Hayden Lakoch is the kicker. Pooch kick. A mistake by Georgia. Wow. Vanderbilt has it. That was Reggie Davis, number 81.
It was a funny half. There was only one player, a receiver back there. He had to cover all 53 wide yards, and the bounce went Vanderbilt's way, and it was not played by Reggie Davis on it. And it was a tough one. I think it was Oren Burks that was got it. How about that? All of a sudden, the game that looked over becomes a football game. what a bounce, huh? Pooched, and it bounced for Vandy.
Yes.
Now a game that looked like a Georgia cakewalk is going to be a nail-biter.
Orenburks did indeed recover. Lukacs with the pooch kick. And Davis anticipating a forward bounce.
Well, or at least to the right. I mean,
Yeah.
the angle was going, that would bounce and go out of bounds maybe. But it goes one direction and bounce completely to the left.
4.5 to go. 24-14.
Georgia bench during the kick. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
Wow. You get one warning.
There was a warning earlier in the
Yep.
game, unsportsmanlike. First down and goal. McCrary back. Chased to his right, sidelines, and again it's dropped. Wow. Darius Sims, that's the second drop for Sims in the game.
And it is amazing how McCrary gets out of the pocket and is able to deliver that ball like that. And he's had, what, 10 of those in this football game?
Second and goal. Play fake. McCrary wings it into the end zone. Tipped. Is it intercepted? It is. Touchback. A deflected ball intercepted by Jake Gaines.
Just trying to do a little too much on that one. So many red shirts, got out of the pocket. Remember, they had 2 interceptions in the end zone. Vanderbilt did a week ago. And now another one in the end zone. There's 4 defenders. 3 of them could have intercepted the ball that time. I think Aaron Davis knocked it out of the hands of Dominic Sanders, and then Gaines intercepted it. Well, that was a second goal line stand. Gaines got his feet down before his hand touched out of bounds.
So Georgia takes over at the 20. And as you can see, the 18th consecutive game with the takeaway. First down and 10. Nick Chubb switches the ball and scoots out to the 49-yard line. Torian Ferguson made the tackle. 29-yard gain.
Yeah, his ability to just kind of feel it. And we always talk about vision, but some of it is just instinct. You can feel the motion of the defense. The great running backs, they see it, they feel it, they can just sense it. It's just something that's impossible to teach.
Chubb with 189 yards now on 19 carries. Sonny Michel is in the backfield. It's going to be first down and 10. Michel. Well, Georgia picked by many to win the East. Take a look at this, Gary. The East cross-divisional opponents in the strength of schedule.
It's always a big thing when the East teams, they got to face the tougher West ones. But Georgia, I believe, has got the toughest road to hoe here. They got Alabama and at Auburn. Of course, they always play Auburn every year, but this year they draw Alabama. But each of those East teams grabs at least 2 tough opponents. Kind of take your poison here on the West because they're all good this year.
Second down. Michel to the 45. Well, Grayson Lambert got the start, was replaced late first half after he missed his first 5 passes. Bryce Ramsey came on, and Mark Richt went back to Lambert to start the second half. And we really watched him grow in this game.
Well, he's played better. There's no doubt about that. It looks like the timing routes are what he does the best. I think he's going to have to get better on the deep ball. I watched him in practice. I thought he threw a beautiful deep ball, but in this game, he's really had nothing downfield again. Last week's game tape, and this week, nothing really attacking on the outside or deep or down the middle deep.
Now let's go back and spend a moment with Adam Zucker in New York.
Oh my goodness. That's hard to believe, isn't it?
It
Guy
is.
run right by you with 12 seconds to go.
3rd and 4 here with 2:52 to go. Lambert.
Fool me once.
Yes.
Fool me once.
Exactly.
Shame on you. Fool me twice. Ain't gonna happen.
Well, we'll take our SEC on CBS crew down to Baton Rouge, 3:30 Eastern Time. Auburn with an escape in overtime against Jacksonville State, and LSU on the road tonight at Mississippi State. It will all begin with the Auto Trader College Football Today show next Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time.
That'll be a fun game to watch. Tennessee, obviously, everyone knew they were going to be a better football team this year, and that game's shaping up to be a battle there. Tennessee off with the fast start, but very curious to watch Mississippi State. They have to retool, lost a lot of good players, but LSU coming in there to play, especially the way, Mississippi State kind of made their season beating LSU last year.
2:42 to go in this one, and it's 4th down. Colin Barber on to punt. That will bounce it to 12 and go into the end zone. Touchback. 45-yard punt.
Well, every rep that McCrary puts on in this football game, the hope for Vanderbilt is that he'll be that much better later in the year. He's a work in progress. They know that. They think he's got great upside potential, but until he lifts his game another notch, it's going to be a struggle for them. And again, for the 14th straight game, Vanderbilt is going to lose the turnover battle.
1st down 10. McCrary got it complete out to the 27-yard line to Ralph Webb. Jake Gaines made the tackle. McCrary off his back foot, comes right. That's going to be a 1st down at the 39-yard line. Clock will stop as they move the chain. Again, it's Ralph Webb with the catch. McCrary completes it out near the 47. Chris Cantera, number 82.
That's a win for Georgia. Completing a pass in a 2-minute short of the 1st down is exactly what Georgia's trying to accomplish.
And Vandy out of timeouts. 2nd down 1. McCrary.
Keep going.
Keep going. at the 28-yard line. First down 10.
Georgia plays the same style of two-minute defense that Alabama used. Of course, Jeremy Pruitt, coach there, learned his game, took it to Florida State. And what they do in these situations, match up to the backfield. And when you break containment, all of the DBs are covering guys. Some of them are two-on-one or one-on-one, but none of them are accounting for the quarterback.
McCrary deep in the middle, intercepted. Picked off by Dominic Sanders. He's got a little blocking help. He cuts to his left and then back to his right. And he's going to skip into the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia.
Sanders is playing that robber position that the quarterback has trouble seeing. He accounts for the guys on the left. He's throwing to the three receiver side, but he misses the guy to the other side. The safety runs across the formation. McCrary thinks he has a hole. He does not. Now, Jonathan does a nice job almost making the tackle here, but Sanders just a little too easy to get in the end zone.
88 yards with the interception. Dominic Sanders. Hop, skip, jump, touchdown. Yes, what would you like to do? Don't miss the series premiere of Limitless Tuesday, September 22nd, only CBS. Marshall Morgan will kick off. Ryan White. Dale Sims, number 6. Now you might have noticed in the background that the officiating crew wearing black wristband today. That's to commemorate the passing of longtime SEC official Jim Allison. He died earlier this week. And the last few years we would see Jim periodically as a replay official. Gregarious man.
Yep.
Always helpful. There's a flag on the play. .107 to go. First down and 10. McCrary.
I didn't see it, but I'm being told that Georgia was offsides on the kickoff, so they attacked on 5 yards.
Gotcha. Left side complete. Latavius Rayford makes the tackle. And one of the officials is injured. I saw him limp. Looks like a knee problem. He's right at the 39-yard line. Head linesman.
He's going, not now. There's a minute to
No.
go. Get out of here.
Randall Kaiser. 2nd and 1. .58 seconds to go.
So what do you think, Vern? Is this Georgia team got it together? I mean, obviously the running game is going to be a threat to anybody they play. You know, Chubb goes for almost 200 yards in this game. 189. Michelle looks like they have another weapon. They got to get better throwing the ball, obviously, but teams improve. And if they get a little more passing attack with that defense, I like their chances.
There's Chubb and Michelle on the sideline. And defensively, those two linebackers are pretty good.
But they, that schedule, their crossover, Alabama, Auburn.
McCrary. 39 seconds.
Guy looks happy, and he should be. It's going to be a great tape for some scout to look at, I'll tell you that.
From the backside, McCrary. That was David Bellamy, number 17. There's
Bellamy, another one of those 6'5" outside linebackers that Georgia has all over the practice field, just one right after another. Remember, Lorenzo Carter, one of their featured pass rushers, played what, one series or not even a series?
And was ejected from the game for targeting. 3rd down 6, 19 seconds to go. "13 seconds.
Well, I enjoyed it. This is one of the few stadiums, Vern, I have not done a game from in my career. It's about 4 or 5 that I have not done a game from, and this one gets checked off.
Yes.
Kansas, which I'm not likely to do anytime soon. Cal and Louisville, I think, are the only ones of the major conferences.
You're kidding, really?
Yeah.
You know what's top of my list, honest to God? 40 years in network television, I've never done a game at Notre Dame.
Wow. That's pretty good special place.
Yes,
he catched it.
Yeah, he got it.
Stepped out. He stepped out.
That's Trent Sherfield.
Broke out of the pocket again, and on the outside, Sherfield goes out, but his right foot comes out of bounds.
Yeah. So this should be the final play of the game, with the exception of a penalty, of course. That young lady was sitting in isolation. She's still there.
Still there.
She's texting. She hasn't looked up. She missed that whole 88-yard interception return. McCrary. Game's over. Georgia prevails. (31-14) the final. Time now for the Napa Auto Parts play of the game. It was the first score of the game. Isaiah McKenzie took this punt and got loose down the far sideline with an elusive bit of running. Cuts to his right, 77 yards. He got by that defender and went in with an escort. And Scott Howard recaps the play from the Georgia Radio Network.
Shaw with a boomer high kick. This time Isaiah McKenzie fields it at the 23. Breaks the tackle there to the 25 to the 30. Straight ahead, 35-40. Over the star 50. 45-40. Angles to the left. Breaks another tackle, 30. He's got to go. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Isaiah McKenzie. He's done it again.
Yes, he did. And the two teams gathered at midfield. This one's in the book. Final score, 31-14. You saw the lineup tonight on CBS. For Gary Danielson and Allie LaForce, I'm Vern Lundquist saying so long from Nashville, Music City, home of Scott Hamilton. 31.
Knew you'd get it in.
It took me a while. Dodge postgame show up next after these messages and a word from your local station.